breakfast, I can tell you what it tastes like. Wake up and I see red and I still don't got no brake lights. Yeah, feeling super fly. I look in the mirror, see ambition in my eyes. Got more than one formula, they love the way I drive. Yeah, I've been a prize, there's no need to be surprised. Baby, I'm a go-getter, go-getter. Yeah, you better go figure, go figure. Baby, I'm a go-getter, go-getter. Yeah, you better go figure, go figure. Try and get a big stack in my bag. Boy, you know I'm getting to it, it's like that. Try and get a big stack in my bag. Yeah, you know I'm getting to it, it's like that, like that. Hey. Never feeling the pressure, please not at all. I walk in when it's crunch time, leaves in the fall. Woman on me, only hit my name on a roll call. It's like there is no ground beneath my feet, I got no flaws. Still humble, but just don't get it confused. You know who I am, there's no need to introduce. I am one of one, they can't stand it, but it's true. Sicker than the average, ain't no challenge that's immune. Baby, I'm a go-getter, go-getter. Yeah, you better go figure, go figure. Baby, I'm a go-getter, go-getter. Yeah, you better go figure, go figure. Try and get a big stack in my bag. Boy, you know I'm getting to it, it's like that. Try and get a big stack in my bag. Yeah, you know I'm getting to it, it's like that, like that. Big stack in my bag. It's like that, like big stack in my bag. You know I'm getting to it, like that, like.
Yeah. Run that
I
back,
fell
Turbo.
deep down in that mud, baby, now I'm climbing out. They think it'll be us when they finding out. I be taking straight losses lately, what you crying about? I done put blood, sweat, and tears in, just what I'm dying about.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl. And this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports.
And we are
it's the
underway
Philadelphia
here in
Eagles
Las Vegas.
and the Chicago Bears. And it's coming up next.
And we will not have a return, so the first drive of this Super Bowl will begin at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
How about the defense there, try to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
Fields throw here into the hands of Moore. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. First and 10, and they've got three tight ends out there, a jumbo package look. They'll fake the handoff, now Fields. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
Here's second and 10. Fields now to throw. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over first and 10. Phillies offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season in Oklahoma.
And he spoke very eloquently and passionately on media day about what a victory here would mean for him. He knows this just isn't any other game. This is the kind of game that stays with you for a lifetime. If there's anyone on this field tonight who's most ready for this moment, I think it's this man right here.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's Hurts to throw. His throw incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Hurts sets up to throw it. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with this 4th down call.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Fields on 1st down. Looking deep here for Mooney. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he goes diving to get as much as he can, following a big gain. A nice little cherry on top there at the end. A big play there on the catch and run. 77 yards.
And what a letdown after a huge play. He's going to pull this in and then set sail for the end zone. And he nearly made it, too. But he's going to be tracked down just short of the goal line. So a big play there that's going to set him up with 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's 1st and goal. Fields. And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Bears are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he is not going to make it. They stop him up short, and this will remain a 6-0 ball game. I thought the days of the fake extra point were numbered once they moved these kicks back to the 15. Apparently, I was mistaken.
Yeah, I was wondering who was ever going to try to do this. In fact, I couldn't wonder. I didn't think it would ever happen. Taking a fake from the 15-yard line to try and pick up an extra point, I didn't think anyone would ever call this.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll fake it there on the jet sweep, but instead, here's Swift. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles 1st down as the tackle is made right at the 25-yard line. Now Hurts on the option right. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets popped free.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
Now Fields. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there situation.
That is caught. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give them 22 there on the third down conversion.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play in football.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy,
touchdown Bears! Cole Kmet, 38 yards. And the Bears will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Matt Eberflus is going to keep his offense on the field. They're going for two. Fields trying to throw for it. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter, Trenton Gill, to kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Once again, it's Swift. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was 3rd down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to first down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up. Going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a first down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Montez Sweat just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Well, welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
The kick by Elliott is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
20! 5! Touchdown! Chicago! St. Brown, 42 yards. And the Bears continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
They'll try and throw for it. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter, Trenton Gill, to kick it away. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On the option to give to Swift here. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He's got space past the 25. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Say hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Hurts. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dominique Robinson, the one who got in there to drop him. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. To return is Taylor. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bears take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow, and I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
On play action, Fields. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields off the bootleg. Open man, this is Lewis. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19. Off play action, Fields. Open man, he finds Komet. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Bears are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl.
You got it figured out by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. On the option to give to Swift here. He'll take it inside the 25.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. 3rd and 2. They'll set up a throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They'll try it now with Swift. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Bears will get the football back. On first down, Fields. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much. Well, one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job.
He's got a man, complete. A huge play there for Chicago. 43 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Chicago. Equanimous St. Brown. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Bears are starting to pour it on at the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Matt Eberflus going to keep his offense on the field. They're going for 2. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Out route pass complete to Goddard. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. They'll look to throw. Complete to Zacchaeus. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. The kick by Elliott is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
And they'll accept that penalty. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Here's Hurts to throw. Flush to his right. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. The kick by Elliott is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
A final shot before the break. Fields. They'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One of the greatest performances of the year usually, but not here. Halftime of the Super Bowl is skipped, and we are on to the second half. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. And not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Bad news, they didn't get it on second down. The good news is they still only need about 3 or 4 inches here on third.
And the good play callers have looked at both situations. They thought to themselves, okay, this call, I pick up the first down, already ready with that call. If I don't, this is what I'm going to come back with in order to pick it up.
56 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. 2nd down and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it. Over the middle to Smith. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Throwing is Hurts. Being chased out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeMarcus Walker in there to drop him for a loss on the play. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. That is caught, and he is going to have an Eagles first down by a good 3 yards as they convert on 4th and 5. They go play action with Hurts. And a quick throw there is incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Back to the running game with Swift. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first. Looking to throw. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
I do think it's fair to say they were caught off guard a little bit when we decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Swift. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. The kick by Elliott is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the 2nd half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's Fields now on 2nd down. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Bears first down. It's going to be a gain of 13 there as they convert by a good 3 yards on 4th down. Fields now to throw. That's complete to Mooney. Touchdown, Chicago! Darnell Mooney, his second touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Bears will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or 2? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. And there's just 1 quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter. Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Hurts. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 9. They're going to look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Quick slant here to Smith. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the gun, it's Hurts. And his throw's going to be incomplete. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw again. And that will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. And they come up with a big one there to keep the drive moving and then some. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. DeMarcus Walker able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. DeMarcus Walker in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same
touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert, 32 yards. And the Eagles are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
And that flag accepted. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now it's Fields. He'll let this go deep for St. Brown. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now Fields. And that is incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And here we go on 4th down, Fields. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Big strides, look at him go. Touchdown! Cole Kmet with his 3rd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Bears start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches, laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Hurts sets up to throw it. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
Here we go.
On 1st down, Fields. He's got the connection to Moore. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He'll get this off to Swift. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Goddard.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Hurts. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off, and the Bears are going to have it here just past the 25. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Under the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter, Trenton Gill, to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Jaquan Brisker getting sent on the safety blitz, and he was able to finish it off. Throwing on second and long. Hurts. And the pressure gets to him again. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. Third and long. He'll drop to throw. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. On first down, it's Fields. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And the Chicago Bears have etched their name in